paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
I have a great question for you two, my friends. What's the most expensive card you've ever seen in a local game store display case?
Probably a Black Lotus.
Corbin?
And that's like a Black Lotus that like I supplied this person. So
Sure.
that probably doesn't count.
I
Like some
don't
other
think
piece of
that-
power, like a Mox or something.
I don't know that I have been in a game store with a piece of power locally, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I think a Mox or like a Miku, like some dumb
Sure.
$1,000 secret lair card is the answer for me.
I went to a local game store over the weekend to play a Riftbound tournament, and I went in and I was delighted. I saw they had a signature foil Yasuo from the first Riftbound set, which is, $600 to $800 card, and I was like, oh, that's so cool that a game store could open something like that out of a booster pack. And I was looking in the display case and I saw that they had a Magic 30th Anniversary Edition Retro Black Lotus in their case, which is like about a $7,500 widget. And I thought to myself, like, I've not seen a game store with something like that in a long time. Like just your average little game store, not like, not a bigger venture that has a lot of money behind it, just like a mom and pop shop. And I asked them about it, and they opened it out of the one that, like, WotC sent it to them, and they cracked it for singles.
Nice.
And
and
they
then it
had that
never
in
sold.
Yeah, and it got me thinking about, like, when you've been in this industry as long as we have, you sort of take for granted these things, but there are real stores of value being put into circulation to stores that never would have had access to that sort of thing before. Like DJ said, your mom and pop shop could have a Miku Snapcaster in their case, and that could be the most expensive card they ever put in their display case.
Yep. When I was
It's
at my
sort of
Niagara
like-
Falls event this past weekend, I got 2 trades from LGS owners who were in that situation of like, hey, one of my players opened this. I gave them this much in store credit. It sat in my case for a year. I can't do anything with this. Can I please turn this into cards I can use? And then they went and shopping for my City of Traders and my Mox Diamonds and whatever.
And that's why people don't have them in their cases, right? It's just not a good use of money. Also, I think most game stores, like we're talking at a mom and pop level, don't have $15,000 to throw into cards that will never sell. They will just choose not to do that, even if they have access to it.
But the thing
I
is,
think
they
the
could
average.
now...
I think the average LGS has a 4-digit bank account when they open, which is a terrifying thought, but like,
That's correct.
I do think almost every business in this space is undercapitalized. But at the same time, like, if you are a game store that's trying to make this leap to the next level, like, you're not in the 4-digit bank account when you start. You're moving along pretty regularly. You're on the path to WPM Premium. And someone comes in and offers you a $5,000 card. Do you take it? Do you know what to do with it if you do get it? What do you offer on it? And I think as we get into a space where more and more average people can open a Solitude Yojimbo from their Final Fantasy Secret Lair they bought, or they can open a Miku Snapcaster, or they can open a Thanos Soulstone. We get into this environment where we see people who aren't equipped to handle these sort of things, buying them and selling them.
Mm-hmm.
And it puts the emphasis on having good information available on things that are low supply, which just doesn't exist. Like, what happens if you're a local game store owner in some small state and someone at your store opens a Cosmic Soulstone?
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Well, and a
that
lot of
person
game stores
posts
aren't.
it on Facebook. I think the expected pipeline for that turn of events is that person posts, they do like some amount of Googling themselves. Like I think the average person can like look at eBay on a card and see what it's listed for. Maybe even the person doesn't know to look at comps, but they look at eBay and see what it's listed for. Or like TCG Player or whatever. They see like a $35,000 or $40,000 number, and then they ask like roughly that same number, and they get a lot of comments and a lot of offers from just like some mix of known vendors and real vendors, and some mix of backpack grinders and some mix of sharks. And then that overload of information and offers just like causes a lot of just fear and like, oh God, I am in over my head. What am I doing? And then they just like choose not to sell it at all. They just like shut it down and be like, well, nope, I'm not dealing with that. Clearly, this is something I should get all the money for. And then they change their offer to like 50K or 60K or something super unreasonable. They don't sell it. And then it blows over for a year or two. And then they eventually bring it to a show. That I think that's the like average what happens there for that card.
But what if you are then the LGS owner, where someone in your store opened a Cosmic Soulstone, and your interest is to capitalize on it in a way where you can make the customer feel like they had a good experience, they got what was fair. You know, how do you convert in that space? And I think that's a question that a lot more small game stores need to be asking themselves is, there are really good opportunities popping up in your store. Maybe Cosmic Soulstone's a bad example because it's too valuable, but like a Thanos Soulstone.
Yeah, Miku and Thanos are good examples, I think.
The Rainbow Foil Aang. Like, what happens when someone in your store opens one of those? How do you, as a business that's never bought a $5,000 card before, work with a customer to buy a $5,000 card? And I think that's sort of my topic for today, I guess.
Sorry to cut off your very good question, but I just realized I said a sentence that was probably never said, like r/brand new sentence. Miku and Thanos are very good examples, period. Like, where does that Venn diagram exist anywhere else?
Power hungry. Yeah, they're both power hungry constructs of the imagination of someone who's probably dead now.
And welcome into Brainstorm Brewery, everybody, on that note.
I have to assume that Hatsune Miku is so popular because she is ensouled by her creator's death. I could be wrong. You know, get in the comments, tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I don't know what this is.
You don't know what Hatsune Miku is?
I've tried to explain to Corbin what a Vocaloid was a year or so ago. I don't.
Corbin, do you know what the Gorillas are? Like the band The Gorillas in the United States.
Clint
So it's a virtual
Eastwood
band. Yeah, it's a virtual band. There are real musicians behind it, and they have
fine.
Digital avatars that they use to present the music. Hatsune Miku is partially that, but I think also a lot of the music is not AI, but it's like pure. There's no actual singing. It's all computer
It is
generated.
a software that creates a voice.
I probably asked this when DJ explained this last time. Is this related to Hollow Live?
Yeah, I believe so. I think Hollow Live is like the thing that Miku does.
Okay.
We're checking. Hollow Live is the merchandising company that owns the rights to Miku Hatsune, I believe.
Okay, they were doing a big thing at Dodger Stadium when I went, and we went down on the field, and everyone was screaming "Hollow Live" or whatever, and like had their phones out. It was insane, but in a weird way, in a good weird way. It was on Dodger Field, so okay, cool. That's that. But also, there's a magic card of that, I guess.
There's a Snapcaster Mage of that.
Oh,
I have a dear friend who plays with
people get mad at Wizards for doing crossovers like that. Just keep in mind that the Dodgers are doing it too.
Well, here's the thing: is I have a friend who, even though it is almost certainly incorrect to have in her deck, she does play her Miku Snapcaster Mage in her Legacy Wizards deck, and really loves saying, "I'll cast Encore Electromancer," and her opponent's like, "What's that?" And then they pick it up and they read it and realize it's Snapcaster Mage and realize it's targeting a Flame of Anor, and that she's going to flashback Flame of Anor and kill their guy and draw 2 more cards. And like, oh, fucking Miku did it again.
Very fun. Okay, well, good to know. Yeah, no, I think that's a great topic for today, right? So I work at a store, or sell cards out of a store, where the owners are online first mindset, right? They got started in Whatnot and sports cards and this entire business model that exists online first, and then they moved into a storefront. So sort of, I don't know if you like, we think of a mom and pop idea of a store, right, that is opening. This is sort of the opposite of that, right? This is one that's opening as opposed to one that's been around forever. Right.
Yes.
So the answer at this store is when something gets opened, their mindset is, we'll throw it on TCG Player right now. Like they got like the holiday card in for Wizards, and they were like, can we sell this? Are we allowed to sell this? If so, let's sell this right now. So I don't actually know whether they're allowed to or not, but that was like their mindset.
They are not.
I'm sure they looked it up. There you go. But right. So I think that is the mindset. And if you have a big expensive card come in, I can say that at this store, there are a lot of expensive Pokemon cards and sports cards with big price tags, 4-digit price tags on them, that just sit and have been sitting since the store opened 2.5 months ago. And there's a complete set of a Pokemon 151 that hasn't moved since the store opened. It's listed at like $1,200 or something. I don't know whether it's a good price or not. I just know no one's bought it, right? So it's those kind of big ticket items just very rarely move. The market for that stuff is almost entirely online because it's just smaller. And in fact, there is no market for that stuff if not for online, because you have to be able to find those very rare people. And it's just a very poor use of capital to sink it into something that is a crowbar away from walking out your front door. Now, maybe you get rich on that off your insurance. I don't know. But the idea of literally let me sink $10,000, $20,000 into high-end Magic cards that will never sell, and I'll just stick here in my counter so people can look at them. I just don't know if that's a great use of capital for businesses that are usually, month to month.
So the question then becomes, let's say I am, I know LGS has been around for a decade. They don't sell cards online.
Yeah.
Let's say someone comes into my store with a serialized Lord of the Rings card, right? From a business perspective, I want to, A, serve the customer so that they come back when they have more stuff like this. B, I want to not lose money on the transaction. And C, I don't want to tie myself up with an asset that's going to sit for forever. So what do? Is I figure out what I can sell it for to a different vendor immediately.
Yep.
Buy it from the
That's what I
customer
was
and
gonna
flip it
say
and make
is-
like my $50 to $100 and be fine with it.
Yep. Networking
Or if you have a
so
if you have a
important
right, or if you have a vendor who is maybe interested in a trade for lower end stuff that you can move, then you have an opportunity to serve your customer base too by actually acquiring cards that they want, even if it's more convoluted. Now, obviously, that's what you do if you don't have someone who's willing to trade in to that, right? Because a lot of times that's how high ticket items usually end up going, is they get traded into by customers and sort of ground down into cards that the store can actually sell. Like, I want to fill my cases with $5 to $20 cards because those just can fly out the door. And then you want some amount of expensive stuff, right? But I don't want it filled with $1 cards, and I don't want it filled with $60 cards, like, as a rule. You actually need cards that people buy. Like a Triome, the absolute perfect LGS item for me.
Sure. Turns out that in this industry, it's way harder to make a really deep margin on one item, and it's really easy to, turn the same items 5-10 times in a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The actual answer is, would I rather have a Cosmic Soulstone or equivalent value in Polluted Deltas? And the answer is pretty obvious.
Is it the one that looks sick in your commander deck?
Yeah, obviously. So I have a friend who made a joke to me. He said, I'm loaning him cards for the World Championship this weekend. And he said, if I played a deck that had one Soulstone in it, would you put a Cosmic Soulstone in my deck to play on coverage? And I said, obviously. Obviously. If it was exactly one, yeah, of course I do. If it's 2, 0% chance. You get Thanos Soulstones. And if it's 4,
that's funny.
Don't talk to me again. Pick a better deck.
I can't wait to see what the decks are, speaking of, at the World Championship, which is coming up this weekend. I'm flying out tomorrow. DJ, you won't be there because this is not a Magic Con, so sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed by that.
It's going to be a good time. I know that because the World
sick.
Championship, there's 128 players, I believe, qualified, which is fewer than I expected, which means like a normal Pro Tour, I think, is like 200 to 250 or something. So this is really small in terms of that. And the competition is going to be great. It's also like a shorter day by one round each day, which means the stakes are higher in every match, and also means I get off a little early. So we like that. But yeah, looking forward to hitting up Seattle. Cass, what is the weather like there right now?
I was about to check, actually.
Okay.
I
don't look at it at all.
So today it's a beautiful 47 and cloudy, but there's still some sun.
I love that.
You get in tomorrow, you said? So starting tomorrow, it's going to rain until 2 days after you leave.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It's going to be like 50-ish, rainy, foggy. It's peak Seattle weather.
I love that weather, unironically. I'm excited. Also, I very rarely see the weather, but this is what I was told, is that between the event site and my hotel, there is a Christmas parade happening every night, apparently.
Here's the real thing that's going to get you, Corbin, is that it gets dark around 4 p.m. here.
Oh.
Because we are pretty far north,
I guess
we have like this time of year we have like 8.5 to 10-ish hours of sunlight. It's very depressed, but it's okay. We're making do. The rain really lifts my spirits. It really does.
I mean, look, there's way too many shows where I go in as the sun is coming up, ish, right? I mean, it's up at 7:30 or whatever, but like, and then I don't get off work until the sun is down anyway. So it won't really feel any different in that sense. But I did not think about that at all.
Yeah, today the sunset begins at 4:19 p.m.
Wait, could you see the Northern Lights a few weeks ago? Remember that whole thing?
So I found out the Northern Lights were visible about 2.5 hours after they stopped being visible. I was
unlucky.
I was inside watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, which honestly, just as good. Just as good. I mean,
my family went driving. We went looking for them because they were supposed to be visible as far as south as like top of Texas. So we went looking. We had a friend who was able to get a good photo of them on like their phone. It shows up on that wavelength spectrum. I don't know anything about science. On that aura level. But we
if the Northern Lights are this pretty rainbow aurora blue-green thing, are the Southern Lights just white? Like a flag?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'll say though, I think it's worth trying to see that stuff. Did you all do the eclipse?
I did not.
The eclipse.
Corbin, this was like 18 months ago. What are you talking about?
The eclipse is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
DJ, first of all, slow your roll, champ. He's talking about the unlimited splendor of the natural world. Okay, so through God, all things are possible. Jot that down. Second of all, I did not see the eclipse, and I wish that I did. Third of all, I'll be honest, I was probably busy watching Star Trek for that too.
I went to the woods with my family, and I sat there, and we watched that. And I was with my kids and my wife and my sister and in-laws, and it was an extremely cool moment.
I got
the way that it got
it
got dark. It got dark, but not dark. Like the light just became muted, right? It was like everything became backlit as it was starting, right? Before it became dark. It's like everything just became like backlit because there was no sun. Like it was just like an ambient light, and it was just this crazy thing. And then it gets, actual dark, and you look up at it, and you can just literally see that with your eyes, and you're like, I'm staring into space right now, and it's really cool. And for my religious in-laws, I'm sure it was a divine moment or something, but I was just like, damn, this is cool.
I got 2 questions for you, Corbin. One, have you ever seen Dune Part 2, the film?
I have.
How much was the solar eclipse like the scene on Getty Prime?
Where?
The scene where it was all black and white that was like 30 minutes, big dog? Come on.
There was less gladiatorial combat, at least where I was. But light-wise, well, not terribly far off.
Okay. Second question for you. Were you high when this happened? Is that why it was so awesome?
Sadly not. I was with my family, so no.
Oh, you can't be high around your family?
In this case, no. However,
it
would have been amazing, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, I can't be high around my kids. Oh, I'm a good father. Oh, I'm Corbin. Ooh.
I think it's more about the in-laws.
Who cares? Who cares what your in-laws think? Blaze up, brother.
Like, I trust my kids. If we're family, we're in a cabin. We're fine. Like,
you got no sun, no weed, and no male-on-male gladiatorial combat. Like, what are we even doing here?
You did trip me up. I had to think about what planet it was. Arrakis is the one that gets blown up. Where they blow up the settlement on it.
So Arrakis is Dune. Okay, Arrakis
yeah, that's
is
the one
with
they
the
blow
worms
up.
in the
They blow
sand.
up the city. They nuke the city.
Okay. Getty Prime is the Harkonnen homeworld, the one that had to film. I learned recently they filmed that entire scene in infrared, not necessarily because they had to, because that way there was no color footage, so that the studio couldn't force them to make the scene be in color instead of black and white.
They couldn't.
Instead,
they were like,
filmed it
we're
in
going to Zack
infrared.
Snyder this up.
Yeah, they filmed it in infrared, and they spent 18 months CGIing in a lot of the details that got missed. That way the studio couldn't be like, can you put this in color so it's more accessible?
That's pretty
And
good.
it looked really good because they did that. I don't know. I'm just saying.
You know,
more people
we're
should ignore the studio.
progressing now up on Dune 3 time, right? Wait, Dune Part 3 is supposed to come out in 2026.
Yeah.
That's fun. This guy at the store the other day had 6 kids. I didn't know that
That's
was
too many.
financially possible in 2025. That was wild to me. 6 girls he has in his house.
Corbin,
That's
he didn't have them
insanity.
all this year.
True.
It's not.
They're-
It's not
so
a
1
decision
to
that was
11.
made
They
right
are
now.
1 to 11, man. Like,
I've been going to the mall a lot recently because my movie theater is attached to a mall.
yeah, reasonable.
Love a cheeky Panda Express in the food court before my film. You understand.
I do.
Something I will say is that going to the mall really opens your eyes to how many kids people have. Like, the average normie who goes to the mall to, like, I don't know, go to H&M and then Dick's Sporting Goods or something, they have, like, 11.6 kids on average, it feels like. There's just, like, 2 tired-looking parents and just an army of munchkins.
Well, you know why you're seeing them at the, like, if you have a lot of kids, things are extremely expensive.
Yeah.
So, like, with 2 kids, we can just, like, do things and be like, damn, that's expensive. If you have
Right.
6 kids, even if you have 4 kids, it gets to a point where you just, like, literally can't afford or can't do things. And
Yeah.
you end up in a lot of free spaces, like, say, the mall.
Mall, yeah.
You know, it is a place to take the children that costs no money outside of, maybe you spend some stuff at the mall, but, like, you know, you're not taking, imagine, like, if you have 2 hours to kill, oh, kids are going to go fart around the mall versus we're going to take them to the trampoline park, right? You're out $200 or more, like, you know, so
Yeah.
kids are expensive, I guess.
Speaking of the mall and movie theaters, one last little, fun bit before we get into the breakings of the bulk. I saw a film last night, it's something that AMC does called Screen Unseen, where it's a movie that's not released yet that no one's ever seen, and you don't know what it is going in. You show up and you learn what the movie is as it starts playing. If it's a horror movie, they call it Scream Unseen, so that you don't go and see a terrifying movie. They tell you the rating ahead of time. And I went in, and because it already happened, I can talk about what it was now, because it only happened on December 1st. They do it like 3 times a month with new movies. It was a movie called Fackham Hall, which was, imagine if Pride and Prejudice was the Naked Gun. It was so okay. I'm glad I paid half price tickets on it. It was so okay, but it was really cool to be in a theater with a bunch of people who had no idea what we were about to see. And
That
that's
sounds really
special.
fun.
Yeah.
I have the, like, AMC go see a free movie every month,
Yep.
every week or whatever it is, membership every month. I don't remember what it is.
The next one's on the 15th.
I forget about using it. Yeah. That sounds sweet.
There's
Especially
another one on the 15th.
scary movies. That'd be awesome for me.
Yeah.
I hope I'm about to get on this plane ride to Seattle. I'm going to get a good scary movie in on the way. I showed Ben The Conjuring recently.
Yeah.
He loved that. My 9-year-old was into The Conjuring. He liked
Your
it.
one's
9-year-old's
that?
either going to be really cool or really gay.
Might be
Unfortunately,
both.
that's the only 2
It
directions
might
that a
be
horror kid can
both.
go.
It could be both.
I agree, but like one of those 2 is definitely happening. No one at 9 years old likes The Conjuring. It doesn't end up either really cool, really gay, or both. And there's nothing wrong with any of those.
Yeah. DJ, The Conjuring is the one where they took the, I don't know how deep you can go here, the Ed and Lorraine Warren story. They're grifters from the 70s who made up a bunch of fake ghost stories and shit, including like the Amityville horror and stuff they were involved in. Like they faked they made a bunch up in the 70s and 80s, made a bunch of money, sold their sold their life rights. They're dead now. However,
Sure.
these movies are awesome, where they imagine their imagined careers, but as if they were real, right? And it's like the first one I think was like produced by James Wan or something. It's like got some of those, these are the best horror directors of the last 20 years names attached to them, and they're just like good, scary, not like they have substance, and they're not trite, I would say. Haunted house movies, like they're just good horror movies that weren't like everyone's seen a good haunted house movie. We need to twist it 4 different ways to make our version of the movie. That kind of thing that the early 2000s, mid 2000s had a bunch
Just a
of.
good version of it.
Yeah, it's just like they're just good movies, all of them.
Yeah.
Like,
not every movie has to reinvent a genre. They can just be good.
Yeah, exactly. And they're so good that they've made like 7 of them.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I was like building him up to it because I knew that like these are good ones. I really wanted him to appreciate it, and yeah, he loved it. Just like you will love these breaking bulks.
Breaking bulk time.
Get whiplashed.
I have a Murders at Karlov Manor gold uncommon.
Insidious Roots.
No, that's too easy.
I agree, but I wasn't sure if it was a 4D chess pick. You would think I would think it's too easy, so then you pick it. Break Open.
Nope, it's not.
It's a card,
It's
though,
Breakout.
right? Breakout.
Bust out, Breakout, maybe. I know what you're talking about.
Lightning Helix.
No, but that's a strong guess too. I respect you. I respect you a
I
lot,
always
DJ.
think that's it. I always think that's in Foundation.
This is a standard set. I've guessed 3 times and Corbin's guessed once. We're in The Conjuring.
This is just like The Conjuring for real. James Wan actually is directing us right now.
I'm trying to think of that. I did not enjoy that set, and I am trying to think of what is played in that set in Standard. I bet it's like some Azorius card.
It's not Azorius. I promise you that.
That set sucks.
What?
This
in
set's
that
not
set
great. It's mostly
What's in that set that's
Surveillance
played?
and
No,
slime.
there's Surveillance and then there's cards. Like it's a set sucks. Just got Surveillance.
I
don't know.
concede. I have guessed 3 times. I will die on the sword like a man.
This
I will
is
still
ugly.
go to Valhalla.
What is it?
These guesses are ugly. These guesses are repulsive. Repulsive Mutation is the card.
Never heard of
This
it.
is-
It's played in Standard in the blue-green Ouroboros deck. It is blue-green and
that
X
deck's
for an
cool.
instant. Put X+1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Then counter up to 1 target spell unless its controller pays mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control.
I did not realize this was getting played. What was the name of it? Repulsive what?
Repulsive Mutation.
I do know this card. I didn't ever play it in Limited much.
My
But
Roka
I did
doesn't
not
pick
realize
this,
this
but
was getting
CK will
played.
pay you 33 cents a copy, which is wild.
Market
It's
price
very
is
rare
31
that my
cents.
Roka does not pick a card, but it still buy lists for over a quarter. That's wild.
This card makes a ton of sense as a card that's worth something. It's a +1/+1 counters. It's a counter spell. It's a Simic card that does all the things Simic wants to do. It's seeing Standard play. Yeah, market price is 31 cents and CK is paying 33 cents, and they'll buy 200 copies. Gotta calibrate
That was
your
a great
Roku,
one.
DJ.
That was a great one.
TCG player needs to calibrate their market price so that it goes above 40 cents.
We're getting a Roku at the store. I'm going to be like
Good.
DJ now.
That's so exciting.
I don't know
for
how
you.
I'm going to use it, but they're getting it to sort Pokemon.
I've heard it's not very good with Pokemon.
It's good with modern Pokemon.
All right, I'm pretty sure I just broke Breaking Bulk wide open here with a generationally good pick. This is a Bloomborough Blue Uncommon.
Splash Portal.
God damn it, Cass.
I've been playing Standard.
I know it's
LOL.
not fair. It's
LOL.
not fair. DJ would have been lost.
You said Bloomborough, and I knew you were gonna say Splash Portal. You know why? Because it's the obscure pick. It's just a really, really weak ephemerate, and guess what? That's really good when Quantum Riddler's in Standard. It's fine, Corbin. A generational pick. It wasn't enough.
Get wrecked.
Card Kingdom is paying 60 cents for up to 200 copies of it,
Get dunked on, you dingus.
which is
LOL.
equal to which is more than the market price on the card.
Corbin, I need you to know who you're
Well,
fucking
sometimes-
dealing with right now. You show up and you're like, I got a generational breaking book. I'm the greatest to ever do it. I'm Corbin Hostler. And you got to remember that it's my f***ing podcast, and I just let you on it sometimes. All right, brother? All right?
Oh, sometimes Stockton and Malone run into Jordan. You know, it's just sometimes the generations overlap. All right, that was really good.
Get
really
dunked on.
You all should pull those out of your bulk.
You really should. It's a good pick. It's a good breaking bulk.
I have one that I don't think Corbin will get, and I will follow up his prideful boasting I'm pretty sure Corbin also won't get this one. I have a White Prophecy uncommon.
Is it the
Ristic.
healer? Ristic healer?
Corbin, Ristic what?
Healer.
No.
It's like the prevent
Mutate-
damage thing,
Mutation.
No.
right? Okay.
No.
White Prophecy, you said common?
Uncommon.
Ristic was a good guess.
Is there a bird on the artwork?
No,
Abor. Does it start with an A?
No.
The problem is this set's also only like 90 cards.
Corbin like has his eyes closed. He's like, I'm getting a D. I'm getting a D from somewhere in this part of the room.
Abjure. Is it Abjure?
No.
Is
That's
that a card?
good guess.
Is that a card?
That is a card. Yes, I don't.
Is it? There's a free spell. Is that? From,
Oh well,
Prophecy?
it's a blue common from Weatherlight, but it is a breaking bulk. Abjure is.
I don't know if it's from Prophecy.
This card recently spiked.
It's like discard a planes to destroy an enchantment.
No. You're thinking of not abeyance. Abolish.
Abolish.
Abeyance is the
Abolish.
one I was thinking of earlier. For what it's
That's
worth,
a
I couldn't think of it.
Weatherlight rare, or a stronghold maybe. It's Weatherlight.
Abeyance was the shit.
This card was roughly $1 for the past couple years. It is currently 10.
It's definitely Ristic.
It's not Ristic anything, Corbin.
No, I just mean as an adjective.
You said uncommon?
Yes.
What the? I feel like I know Prophecy pretty well, all things considered.
Prophecy's a little gemstone thing, right? Little 3 gems popping up.
Yeah, like
Yes.
a Lego piece.
I was gonna
is
go
it like,
with
is
the
there a card
Tower
that
of
you can like
Oz.
sack a land to destroy an enchantment?
No. I mean, that might be a card, but this is not it.
I actually feel like I've seen this card in my own articles in the past in the past month or two, but I don't know
gonna
what
cheat.
it is.
I'm gonna cheat. 'Cause
I
I'm
remember
curious
seeing
now.
some stupid old white card. I couldn't remember why it was going up.
Okay. Is it something field, flowering field?
Nope.
Genju
there's like-
of the Fields.
Glittering lion?
Mm-mm.
Magetta
Mirror something?
the lion.
Mirror strike?
I am calling it.
Yeah, is it-
Entangler
What's that?
is an enchant aura. It's a 4-mana aura. Enchanted creature may block any number of creatures.
Yep, that's the one. That's
the
really
full text
stupid.
on the card. It's a $10 Prophecy uncommon that has never been reprinted. This card spiked because of Anti-Venom, Horrifying Healer, the Spider-Man white mythic. And that creature says if damage will be dealt to him, prevent that damage and put that many +1 counters on him. So if you put this on Anti-Venom, you have an unkillable blocker that will get very, very big very quickly. And that's it. That's what spiked this card. It is more expensive than Anti-Venom himself. And you should pick these out of bulk because it used
Because
to be
you have
$1 and now it's
Prophecy
like
bulk.
10. So
For sure.
The Entangler.
I was pricing out that foil Prophecy set earlier and I saw Entangler and I was, what? This is not a $1 card anymore. And it's because of
God.
Anti-Venom Horrifying Healer.
Foil
Prophecy
is so
released.
expensive.
Prophecy was the 20th Magic expansion and was released on June 5th, 2000. We're actually been a history podcast all along, and you didn't realize it.
I don't
JJ,
know
you
about
should
all
put us
that.
in the history tab on Spotify, however that works.
Folks, this is MTG Band. Corbin just asked me what he should sell his Grim Monolith for. We're going to punch in Grim Monolith. We're not doing the World Championships one. We're doing the foil one. So Card Kingdom right now will pay you $2,580 for a near mint certifiable stamp Pristine Grim Monolith. And they are selling it for $3,500. Which means your sell price, Corbin, needs to be somewhere between $2,580 and $3,500. And realistically, I think you can probably squeeze $3,000 out of it because you're not Card Kingdom. But at the same time, like, if you're someone who's trying to maximize getting your money out of your card immediately, anywhere from 25 to 3 is a bonus. And you were talking about selling it for what, 26 to a person, to an individual?
Something
Don't be doing
along
all
those
that.
lines.
Yeah, charge them all the money. You know why?
Like
Because
the
you have
graph.
the information advantage. You have the information advantage because you are on mtgband.com, the most beautiful, lovely, and wonderful sponsor this podcast has currently.
Corbin, that's adorable that you think showing that on that camera matters for us to be able to condition.
Is there a printer line?
It's just for the YouTube.
Woo! That taps for 3 mana.
Click the graph.
You know what's fun about this card is that it's right next in this expensive binder of mine to a card that once upon a time was $1,000. Then they made it a Magicon promo, which is a bulk rare. What do you think happened to this $1,000 card?
I'm gonna guess it's still like $400 and has never transacted since.
Correct.
Yep.
It went down in price some amount, but no one knows what amount because no one's ever bought one.
Hey now, price memory is a real thing. It was also in unsanctioned. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, all the boomers who want that card already own it.
There is a current active buy list on that card.
I found it in bulk.
$200. That card has direct listings.
I found it in bulk. Man, if I was smart, I would have got rid of all the expeditions in that binder too. I did sell someone a dual land out of that binder the other day against my better judgment because they just paid me absolute top of the market for it. So,
yeah, I mean,
what can you do?
Wait. What was the duel? What was the condition and what did you charge?
It was a Tundra. It was, pretty minty to be quite honest.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you wrong. Let me verify. $520.
It's too low.
you said it's near mint?
550 to 580 is the correct number. I don't think 6 is correct, but I think 580 is correct. Maybe 5, well, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I mean, direct net on near mint Tundra is like 546. You said you got 520 for it, Corbin?
I'm trying to remember. This is why I don't want to tell you wrong, because I think it's possible that they took a worse condition one because they didn't want to pay more for it, and therefore I got the top of the market for lightly played. I said, I don't fully remember.
Doesn't matter what you tell us. The answer is you should charge like 20% over TCG on duels. That is the answer.
So I think 520 is not that wrong. It is wrong, but it's not that wrong. If that's
it's not that wrong. Yeah.
And then, like I said, I don't remember if they ended up taking like the perfect one or just like one of the others. But
if a customer came to me and told me they wanted to pay me direct net plus $5 to get the card right then and there, I would be okay with that. Which would mean
is that what
520
is? Yeah,
550 is the perfect number because that's what that is. Realistically, though, I think 530 is a number that I would also say yes to. I'm also putting myself in a position to be haggled with, but
I think my line is I will always be $50 more than TCG low on duels at a minimum. That's my line.
And to be clear, I'm not talking about TCG low. I'm talking about TCG direct low.
No, I know. I'm just saying like my system's like different. Like my line is like regular low plus $50 is like the bare minimum for a duel.
While we're talking about this, especially on these high end cards, something I've had to tell people a lot recently in the stores, I'm teaching people how to look up prices and stuff, is that in a lot of cases, even the market price can be quite misleading. And it's certainly misleading if you just open up the website and then go look at the cheapest listings.
Especially because the TCG app is really bad now.
Yeah.
So it's just so what I did with people a lot of times on this stuff, like the person who wanted to really do a deal with me over expeditions, I was like, I'm not taking the market price on these. I'm not taking the low. We're going to go look at what these are actually listed for from people with real feedback. Not the guy with one feedback in his life listing an expedition for this price, even if he calls it near mint. That's not the cheapest near mint one, right? Like, show me TGA or what? Oh gosh, brain fart. TOA. Show me TOA what they've got it listed for, and then we'll talk. That's sort of like where I'm at on TCG player type prices.
I think a lot of this comes back to information advantage. And if someone comes to me and says, we use the near mint Tundra as an example. If someone comes to me and says, hey, this Tundra would cost me, what is TCG Direct low? $625 right now to buy on Direct. Like, that's too much for me. But I see, because I use MTG Ban, The direct net is 546.27. Can I pay you $550? And I will say that person has given me a reasonable argument for why they should get a deal. They have made something that I believe to be equitable for me. But if someone just comes to me and says like, "Hey, can I get $550 on this?" and I have listed for $625, like, they have to give me a reason to.
Yeah, do your homework.
Right. I think that's a lot of what the vending is these days, is just being able to substantiate your claims, being able to say, "Hey, I have the data to back this up. I see the buy lists are here, retail's here, I know what the fee structure is." And I think a lot of the big value add to people who aren't super entrenched in the industry with tools like BAN is it lets you learn those things in real time. It's like in the same way that getting like a HelloFresh kit or whatever can teach you how to cook, but only so far. At what point you have to like, you have to then learn how to use the tools beyond the guidelines, right? That's the level up moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had a customer recently who was trying to sell a foil set of Prophecy, like 2001 Prophecy. And so if I go to MTG Ban and pull up S:PCY, which is the set code, asterisk for foil, I get every card, and you can sort by like alphabetize. You can sort it alphabetically, or you can sort by retail, or you can sort it by buy list. You can sort it chronologically if it's a larger sort. And so then if I just go down here to search it, you can pull it as a CSV. You can pull it in the upload tool, so I can go to the buy list prices for the uploader. So now I have every card from Prophecy just on my screen here, with Card Kingdom's buy price, with cool stuff, with Star City, with Strike Zone, etc., with TCG low, TCG market. Then I go down to the bottom. This is what those stores would pay for that set if it is all near mint. This is TCG low. This is TCG market. This is low in market for every individual card. And then you can kind of piece it down further. Like, okay, there's some weird data here. Ristic Tutor, not study, Ristic Tutor, TCG low 18, market 49. What is that about? Let's click that. That's a big gap. Loads TCG player, check the current sales. Oh, there's one near mint that sold 4 months ago for $50. Somebody overpaid drastically on this card. And if somebody's selling me a full set of something, I generally can't assume it is all near mint unless it's like a Moto set that is still in the packaging. So like actually this card sells for like 10 to 12. And then I can base my number off of that. I can build a data set to price this person's collection, this foil set of Prophecy they've had in their binder for 15 years. I can get a really quick number and an accurate number, more importantly. Okay, like CK pays $115 on Avatar of Woe, TCG low is $120. Like if this is a near mint card, I can pay 70% of that and still feel good sending it to Card Kingdom for money. Like TCG low is $283 on Ristic Study. CK is also paying really well on that, but that assumes near mint. Like CK is really good on a lot of this stuff if it's near mint, but you have to factor that into the number because like, oh look, CK is really high above everyone else here. So like realistically, I think I want to pay $800 for this set, and that is the number I offer, is $800. So that's a really good use of BAN there, is using the tools to S:PCY non-foil with an ampersand for non-foil. Here's every non-foil card in the set. Same thing, scroll down, TCG low is $88 because it's Ristic Study and like 3 other cards. Great, I want to pay like $50. And then every other card in here is bulk, and you can ignore that. So like really nice use of the tools there.
And if you are interested in this, make sure you use the code BSB50 when you sign up.
It's time for the picking the week.
I'm not going to call my pick generational.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
My pick's generational. It's not
Is
actually.
it Grand? Is it Grand?
My pick is not Grand. My pick is actually, it's very similar to Grand lore-wise. It's Valgavoth.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
The one from Duskmourn, Terror Eater, I believe.
Love that one. Yeah.
That dude, it's like $13. That card is way too strong to be $13. Duskmourn's like, I don't know, 30 sets ago. It's a mythic.
True.
It has like a couple versions of it, but like it's a mythic. I'm just saying, there are not a lot of cards that sort of thread the needle between busted thing to cheat into playing Commander, potentially standard playable as a reanimation target, not so grief-free that your opponents complain at you constantly about it when you're playing casual Magic. Like this
Yep,
card kind of
that's a
threads a
big
lot
part
of
of it.
needles. Also, the art is sick. Buy Valgavoth now.
Sure.
There you go.
I think cards that are $10 to $13, that are from recent standard sets are very easy to go to 20 because of the way TCG Player Direct works.
Yep.
It's very hard for cards to go from 20 to 30 because of the way Direct works,
Yes.
but like that's where the number breaks off. Is it's really easy to buy $10 Valgavoths, list them on Direct at $19.99, and then once the card hits like 14 or 15 retail, your $19.99 ones will sell, and you will net like $16.50.
Yeah.
Good spot to be in.
Okay. I'm gonna hop in here with a standard pick, and I'm interested in what you all think of this because I'm
Splash
going to
Portal.
say Multiversal Passage from Spider-Man at $9 because the Spider-Man set sucks, but Multiversal Passage very much does not suck. And I'm curious if we think it's just going to end up eating up all the value in the set and be a $15 card, or if it's like actually just doomed. And the reason I make this pick is because it bottomed out in November at about $6 to $7 and has since climbed up to $9, which leads me to believe that if it continues to be played in standard as I would expect it to be, it's very possible it's just the $10 is just the cheapest it's going to be.
So I have a question for you, Corbin. Let's say I'm playing a 2-color deck and Lorwyn Eclipsed is out. Am I going to play Multiversal Passage or Watery Grave? Sorry, not Watery Grave. Let's Hallowed Fountain. Let's say I'm a blue-white deck.
The
Am I
correct,
gonna play
the correct,
Multiversal Passage?
yeah, whatever. You play your
I'm gonna play
shot.
Hallowed Fountain. Let's say I'm a 3-color deck that needs my mana on time and I'm okay taking damage. Am I going to play Multiversal Passage or Starting Town?
You
'Cause the
always
only
play starting. You always play Starting Town, but this is this can always come into play untapped, and Starting Town cannot.
I understand.
Yeah. So I
So
mean,
if-
just
if
looking at
if you are
the,
so let me talk.
Go
to
ahead,
this.
go ahead,
If you
go ahead.
are a 3-color deck that is interested in not taking damage potentially later, right? And doesn't care about casting your multicolor spells early, that is a time when Multiversal Passage is playable. But I think all of those decks would rather just play a tapped Shockland on turn 2 instead. I think Multiversal Passage sees a lot less play once the full cycle of Shocklands are around. That said, this card's a Commander staple forever. I think that this card is a reasonable pick at $9, not because I think it's going to be, ubiquitous in Standard. It's not some staple in Standard. This card feels like Prismatic Vista does in like Modern and Legacy, where it sees play occasionally because it fills a very specific role. But for the most part, there are better options. But in Commander, Prismatic Vista is just your extra fetch land once you have all the ones that you're allowed to play. This is your extra shock land once you play all the ones you're allowed to play. And so I think I like this at 9.
yeah, I'd say that's why I'm very curious. Thank you for the opinion because I figured it was just kind of on its way down for some of the reasons you mentioned, like without giving it a lot of thought. Like the price came down after the card came out, and just kind of assumed that trend would continue. But then I look at it, and it's actually been climbing. So yeah, I attributed that to Standard. But everything you're saying about the cycle of lands not being complete certainly makes sense. And that's not even counting any additional dual lands we might get in Lorwyn that work with the creature types in particular. So yeah, I guess there still remains some stuff to be seen there. But with all of that said, just based on the graph, at least at the moment, Multiversal Passage is going up. So if you're someone who thinks you might want a copy, try to grab it under 10 while you can. All right, DJ, you get to wrap it up this week. What are you looking at?
My pick may be colored by the fact that I worked a CEDH event this past weekend. I was in Niagara Falls for the Frenzy at the Falls, which was a 280-ish person CEDH tournament with a small legacy side. Our booth did very well, I think, for the cost and time we put in. I think I had a lot of local players there that I was able to serve, and I did a lot of good trades. It was a very profitable event for us. So my pick may be colored by the fact that I was asked for this kind of card a lot, but I think that CEDH specifically has a very strong future in Magic when it comes to competitive events, larger scale, like hotel ballroom size tournaments, not like 2,000 person Grands Prix or Magic Cons, but also larger than your LGS's ability to host. And I'm hoping to be at more of these events because I think they're very good. And the kind of card I want to have in my case for these events is Judge Survival of the Fittest.
Okay.
This is like part of an asset class of cards. I could do like a nebulous, like reserved list foils, ZDH foils kind of pick that is sort of all encompassing. Like this and Judge Gaia's Cradle, I thought making my pick of the week. Like a couple of cards like that. I had so many players ask me for these, and all of those players were willing to hand over their binder, hand over anything that can get them to this card. And these kinds of players are not price sensitive. They want the best version of their deck that they can make it, and they want to spend the money and make their baby, their project sparkle. Things like Judge Wheel of Fortune is also in this category. I want all of these cards in my case for next year. Some of these cards I think are very good to arbitrage from Europe to here.
Yes.
I just bought a Judge Survival from Card Market for roughly $1,000. I am going to sticker it for $1,700 in my case, and somebody will trade me their binder for it. Same with Judge Wheel of Fortune. Like all of these cards that are reserved list foils of just staples that will never leave CEDH, I think are going to experience a rising tide in the next year and a half.
I think as you described the nature of your pick before you told us what it was, the card in my head that I couldn't stop thinking of was FTV Mox Diamond.
Yes. Yeah. I sold out of those over the weekend. I brought 3, sold out, didn't get a single one in. Yeah, that's...
Do you know what CK is paying on that card right now for an Earmint copy?
I'm cheating because I do know what CK is paying on that card because I did look recently. It's like $950 or $975, something like that.
They're paying $910 for a Earmint FTV Mox Diamond.
Yikes.
Which is to say, this is a card that I believe the FTV Mox Diamond is the prettiest Magic card of all time. It is my favorite Magic artist. I think the foiling on it looks really good. I have put off finishing my playset of these for years now. I've had 3 for the longest time. And I'm pretty sure as soon as we're recording, I'm just gonna go bite the bullet and get my 4th one. Like the number keeps going up.
I had mine stickered in the case at $950, and it felt really weird and bad to sticker it at $1,000, which is I guess the only reason why I didn't. But I should have. I should have had my Mox Diamonds stickered at like 1,000 or 1,100, and they all probably would have still sold. Yes,
that's
exact same asset class. Yeah.
Wow.
One of my favorite things about cards like this is you can kind of tell what they actually sell for if you look at the seller side of Ban. For example, Strike Zone has 2 available for $1,150. And I firmly believe that Strike Zone is actually like one of the better places to look for that sort of thing because they believe they are going to sell them at that number.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're right.
Yep.
Like, I think Mox Diamond and Intuition are sort of the lower end of this, and the ones DJ was talking about, like Survival, Wheel of Fortune, Cradle, are sort of the higher end of this. And I think this is an asset class that we should all be really interested in acquiring and, like, price them high, because you don't get them very often.
Foil Grim Monolith, same thing.
Yep.
I was asked for Foil Grim Monolith 4 times, and 3 of those players were really trying hard to like justify or make it work and just couldn't financially. But I don't need to find those 3 people. I just need to find 1 person, and I did.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Right. And you don't need to find a whole bunch of Magic podcasts because you found our podcast, and we appreciate all of you listening. So thank you to Ban for sponsoring us. Thank you, of course, to all of our patrons. You go to patreon.com/BSB. You truly make this podcast possible. So thank you, everybody, for listening. We will see you next week after the World Championship.